What's up, everybody? It's Tony Lopez here, and today I want to walk you through the pros and the cons of shipping container homes. After building nearly 200 container homes, I've seen where shipping container homes make sense, and I've seen other examples where they don't make sense. So by the very end of this video, you'll know confidently whether a shipping container home is the right fit for you. We'll go ahead and kick off by starting about the benefits of shipping container homes. Now, one of the biggest benefits is the durability of container homes. Now, these are homes that are essentially steel boxes. It's not concrete, it's not wood. This is solid steel. And so these container homes, as you'll see on the doors, we'll go over here, they are designed to hold a tremendous amount of weight, both on top of the container and inside of the container. And you can actually look at these data plates over here, and this is where it actually provides that information. Right here it gives you the specs, and you can see if you look over here, the maximum operating gross mass is 67,000 pounds, and in terms of stacking load, it's 476,000 pounds. I show you that to say, I don't think there's a world where you're gonna get a home that is more durable and more strong than a container. Now, one of the reasons I got into building with shipping containers is also that the entire exterior is already completed. Now, over here is a more traditional tiny home. Now, one of the things when you're building a more traditional tiny home is that you actually have to, finish the entire exterior. You can see we did this zip sheathing on the exterior. After that is Tyvek. Then you have your exterior finish, whether you're doing something that's metal or wood or a cement-based product. Whereas with a shipping container, your exterior is already fully completed. This is an example of a 45-foot container that's currently under construction. This is actually a used container. You can see it has some rust and things on it. So we go ahead and get that all cleaned up. But the reality is this unit is, the exterior is pretty much 99% done. Sure, we have to add some paint and remove any rust and things like that. But the structure is already there. Structurally, it's extremely sound. The exterior is completely finished. And that's two huge advantages about containers. Now, it is important to note that as you start to cut out holes for your windows and for your doors, that you are going to want to properly reinforce those. And it's most common for us to use tube steel, like you can see right here. This right here is 2 by 2 by 1/8 inch tube steel. That's pretty standard. So all of these holes that you see, they're going to get reinforced with that tube steel. That's our way of making sure that we reinforce any structural integrity that may have been lost after these panels were cut out. Now, the reason that I love the durability of containers is that they're extremely portable. So containers, of course, naturally have corner casters both on the top and on the bottom, so you can easily crane something like this. It can easily be transported on a flatbed truck, and it also has fork pockets down below to be easily lifted. This means that if you plan to place your unit in a location for a period of time, but then later on you decide to move it, that's not going to be a problem, and it's something that can easily take place. This makes container living spaces not just very durable, but also extremely portable, which is one of their best advantages. Another thing that's really great about them is they're very DIY-able. What this means is that you don't need to be an expert at construction in order to be able to build one of these spaces. I actually remember when I was building my very first shipping container home, I had zero construction experience, and the thing that attracted me to the shipping containers was that the outside was already done. I saw, hey, it's already got structure, it's already a shell, surely it can't be that difficult to finish it out. Now, we have an entire series of videos on how to build out shipping containers. You can go and check those out if you're interested in trying to build your own. But all that to say that it can be done, especially if you're building in a more rural area where there's lower building regulation. Don't fret, don't be afraid. It's something that you could truly do. Lastly, one of the coolest things about them is the unique designs that you can do with shipping container homes. We've all seen the online videos and photos and reels of stacked container homes, combined container homes, unique doors and windows. We've done container homes with garage doors on them, with huge sliding glass doors, all kinds of different things. And it is true that container homes really do have a one-of-a-kind look, and they're different than any other traditional form of construction. Now, when it comes to the cons of using shipping containers, there's really about 3 that come to mind. The first one has to do with costs. Now right here, this is a one-trip shipping container. It's also a high cube. You'll notice there's very little dents on the exterior. This is a great unit to purchase because it was manufactured typically within the last year. And I showed you guys earlier those data plates. Let me head over to one now and I'll show you how you can know when it was built. So right here is the data plate, and you can actually see the date that it was manufactured. And you can see it was in the year 2025. I'm filming this at the beginning of 2026. So this container right here is just about 1 year old. That's good news. When you're thinking about building your house within a structure, to get a structure that's just 1 year old is fantastic. Now, one of the costs that is a bit of a hidden cost is the cost for all the structural work that takes place on a container. Not only are these containers a bit more because they're brand new, and in general, container pricing has gone up over the last 10 years, but right here you can see anytime you do a cutout or a reinforcement for a window or a door, you need fabricator work. Sometimes this is a little bit more expensive type of labor, as you're gonna need a welder. Same with material. A stick of this type of steel may be around $130 or so for 20 to 24 foot length. And you're gonna need this for all of your doors and all of your windows. Now this is one of those areas that cost-wise people make some bad assumptions. They think it's gonna be super cheap for all of this, but the reality is containers are not super cheap, fabrication is not super cheap, and welding is not super cheap. Another big cost that you have to account for on shipping containers is the reality that you're compressing everything you have in a large home into a really small footprint. Right here, this is a 320 square foot space, and within this space you have everything that you would traditionally have in a large home. Also, because these units are metal on their exterior, it does mean that they need to be properly insulated. As you've seen online, containers, in a large way are hot boxes. So if it's going into a hot climate like here in Vegas, you're gonna need to account for insulation. Similarly, if you're going into a really cold climate, these walls are going to need spray foam insulation, and that just is not a cheap material. It's a really nice material, gives you a really good R value, really good insulation rating. And one of the benefits of using closed cell spray foam is that it becomes a vapor barrier at 3 inches. So you don't have to worry about any of the container rain or container condensation developing on your interior walls or even on your interior ceiling, but it is an investment to do insulation the right way. Now, one of the other challenges is in the area of permitting, okay? Before you build a container home, before you decide to put one on your property, you're gonna wanna reach out to your local zoning and building department. If you're in a more rural area, it's more likely that they're gonna be able to accommodate something like this, but there's other building departments where doing so might be possible, but it might just get really costly. And this is a mistake that people don't know when they're not in the industry. Sometimes they just think, hey, you can buy a container or you can buy a container home and just put it on your property, not realizing, not understanding that there's a lot of regulation around how housing gets approved. Everything from minimum square footage requirements to the type of building that you're going to be putting in. Of course, in major cities with HOAs, you have to account for things like that. So you want to do your due diligence. The easiest way to do it is simply to reach out first to your local zoning department, provide them with your property address, let them know your vision, what you're looking to do, and they'll get you feedback on whether or not your property is zoned properly to be able to do that. Once you get the okay from them, the next step is connecting with the building department to try to better understand what the building standards are going to need to be for your container home. Most likely, there's a certain building code that your local city is building to, so they can provide you that information and let you know everything that is entailed with getting this approved and permitted. Once again, if you're in a more rural area, this process could be really simple, and there may not need to be a lot of hoops that you go through, but it really just depends on where you're located, what state, and what city. The final challenge with containers is just related to sizing constraints. Now, on the outside of a container, it is 8 foot wide, and containers come in a few different lengths. This one right here is a 20-foot container. 20-foot containers are great for little studio spaces, little casitas, maybe a home gym or a home office. Right here is a 40-foot container. These end up being about 320 square feet, and these are fantastic as 1-bedroom units. So within a 40-foot container, there's plenty of space for a comfortable bedroom, comfortable bathroom, comfortable living room, and comfortable kitchen. Now this is one of the longer containers that you're gonna see around, and it's actually a 45-foot container. So it's 45 feet in length and 8 foot in width. All of them come in 8-foot width. All of them that we use are high cubes, so they're 9'6" tall. Standard containers are 8'6", but everything we use is always gonna be a high cube. And going back to the topic of constraints, you know, lengths you can change, right? You can go wider. Width, unless you combine units, you know, your width is your constraint. Now the thing that I've noticed helps the most with opening up your space is going to be adding as many windows and as many doors into your unit as possible. So like in this one that we're in right now, this is actually going to be a big window, a glass roll-up garage door, another large window, entry door with windows on each side, and then for this room at the end of the unit, you know, 2 huge windows so they can capture the amazing views up in the mountains where they're going to be located. I mentioned earlier that the exterior width is 8 feet, and by the time we add framing, our insulation, our drywall, paint, baseboard, all the good stuff on the inside, your interior width is closer to about 7 feet. So adding windows, adding doors is a great way to open up your space. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video weighing some of the pros and some of the cons of shipping container housing, shipping container living spaces. You know, we'd love to connect with you further. If you're someone that's looking to DIY a container home, we have tons of free resources right here on YouTube that you can check out, or we actually have a paid course. The course actually goes through step by step the entire build process for your shipping container home. It includes plans, material lists, project schedules, all kinds of incredible resources. So I'll include a link below for that. And for those of you that are not interested in DIYing your container build, you're looking to purchase a container, we do ship nationwide here in the US. I'll include our website information. We actually have a 3D online configurator where you're actually able to select the size container you want. You can then design your container right on our website, and it'll actually generate an estimate for you as well. So I'll have a link below. You can check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.